Hello everyone. So today we will see the separation of chloride, bromide and iodide in the given inorganic mixture in the qualitative analysis. Generally it is found that the chloride, bromide and iodide are soluble except those of the group 1 halides. That is group 1 positive radicals are silver Ag+, mercurous Hg+, lead Pb+2 and copper Cu+2. And amongst these also, it is found that the silver chloride, bromide, and iodide are insoluble in dilute or concentrated HCl, whereas the halides of mercury, cuprous, and lead are found to be soluble in dilute or concentrated HCl. So, we will be using here three methods for the identification of the halides when all these are present in a given mixture. Suppose we take a mixture in which the chloride ion is present. So we add AgNO3 solution and we get the curdy white precipitates of silver chloride. This confirms the presence of chloride in the given mixture. These white precipitates are divided into two test tubes where we check the solubility of this silver chloride in HNO3 and NH4OH. So in one test tube we add nitric acid and in another one we add ammonium hydroxide. So it is found that silver chlorides are insoluble in nitric acid whereas it forms a complex with ammonium hydroxide solution. Second, if bromide is present, adding AgNO3, we get pale yellow precipitates of silver bromide. Again dividing this into two test tubes, in one adding HNO3 and in another one we add ammonium hydroxide solution in excess. So it is found that again it is insoluble in nitric acid but it is soluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide solution forming this complex. Third, if iodide is present, it gives the formation of pale yellow precipitates of silver iodide. See, again here we get bromide and iodide in the form of pale yellow precipitates both, but its solubility in HNO3 and NH4OH is found to be different. Silver iodide is found to be insoluble in both HNO3 as well as NH4OH. This we can remember in a table form like AgCl, AgBr and AgI. Chloride ion, bromide and iodide, all these are insoluble in HNO3, whereas if we see its solubility in ammonium hydroxide solution, silver chloride is found to be soluble. Silver bromide is found to be soluble when it is added in excess amount. Ammonium hydroxide is added in excess, it gives the formation of a complex, whereas silver iodide is found to be insoluble. So based on the color of the silver halides and their solubility in nitric acid and ammonium hydroxide, these halides can be identified. Second method, we take the aqueous mixture containing all these halides, adding copper sulfate solution to this mixture. First thing we find is the formation of white precipitates which are of copper iodide precipitates. So we separate out these precipitates and filter that. So solution which is left, it contains bromide and chloride. Now here we see the reaction that occurs is a redox reaction, or we say oxidation half reaction and reduction half reaction. So the copper sulfate acts as an oxidizing agent. Itself it is reduced from Cu plus 2 to Cu plus 1. Ki acts as a reducing agent. Itself it is oxidized, that is from Ki, that is minus 1 to 0. So it is oxidized. So it is oxidation reduction half reaction giving the formation of insoluble white precipitates of copper iodide. The solution which is left contains bromide and chloride ion. To this solution, adding sulfuric acid, reddish brown colored gas of bromine is evolved. It is allowed to evolve completely. After complete evolution of bromine gas, the solution which is left now contains only the chloride ion, and chloride ion we can confirm by adding AgNO3, which gives the formation of white precipitates of silver chloride. So again we can confirm this silver chloride by its solubility in ammonium hydroxide giving the formation of a complex. Method 3, if we see, we take aqueous mixture of chloride, bromide, iodide, to which we add again an oxidizing agent like potassium persulfate and heat the solution. On heating, violet vapors of iodine gas is evolved, which can be confirmed by putting the starch paper above the gas which is evolved. So how we prepare the starch paper? We take a filter paper, dip in the starch solution, and we put that strip of the filter paper, that is now known as the starch paper, above the test tube where the violet gas are evolving. We heat the test tube and above that we put this paper. It is found that this starch paper turns blue if iodide is present in the given mixture. This forms a starch iodide complex, so it gives the formation of a blue color in the starch paper. After complete removal or the evolution of violet vapors of the iodine gas, the solution which is left now contains bromide and chloride ion here. So again we add sulfuric acid to this solution, and if bromide ion is present, it gives the reddish brown colored gas, which can be checked again by putting the starch paper, which turns yellow, and it is allowed to remove or evolve completely, right? After the complete evolution of the bromine gas, now the solution which is left contains chloride ion. And chloride ion we can confirm by adding the solution of silver nitrate, which gives the white precipitates of silver chloride, which can be confirmed by checking its solubility in ammonium hydroxide. So here, if iodide and bromide, only two are present, we will be doing only these two steps. That is, in the given mixture we add potassium persulfate, allow the violet vapors of the iodine gas to be evolved completely, and after complete removal we add sulfuric acid, gives brown colored gas, reddish brown gas of bromine, and confirm the presence of bromide. If bromide and chloride is present, then we start with the second step, that is, directly to the aqueous mixture we add sulfuric acid and we get the reddish brown gas of the bromine, which is allowed to evolve completely. After complete removal of the bromide ion, the solution which is left, to that we add AgNO3 and we confirm the presence of chloride ion. If iodide and chloride ion is present, then first we add potassium persulfate, violet vapors of iodine gases evolve. Now in the solution only chloride ion is left, which can be confirmed by adding AgNO3. So in any way the mixture is given, we can confirm based on this tests given. These are the identification test or the separating test when all these halides are present together in a given mixture. Thank you.